My name is Nick. I'm 25 from New Zealand. I've been working in bars for 2.5, 3 years, including managing a cocktail bar and working in different bars around the world. Working at night times can be difficult, working in different places, different things, not seeing daylight for days on end, if not a whole weekend, with only seeing night, work, sleep, which can be hard for the body, but it's a lot of fun. You meet when working in bars, especially considering you're on the sober side of the bar and everyone's drunk, you meet people from all over the world. You're meeting like every country you could possibly imagine. You're meeting people, and this can be a lot of fun. It can be a lot of fun. There was one time I was working and I was chatting to some nice girls. We were talking about going to a party, well, not a party, but another bar after work. We left there and went to this other bar, and just as we're about to leave, they said, "Is it okay for us to walk home? Is this place safe?" And I was like, yeah, no violence ever happens in this town so much, especially not to tourists or backpackers. You're fine, you can walk home. As soon as we literally as soon as we walk out of the door, this like guy who smoked way too much crystal meth comes out and just rips his top off and starts yelling and screaming at the guy who owns the bar for no reason at all, and just like yelling and screaming at us. Walks up behind the girls, picks the like a guy that walks out of the bar, just a random patron, had never seen, didn't know anything was going on. He walks out of the bar. The guy was like 6'4", so he was a very tall guy, the guy that walked out of the bar. This little guy on meth just goes straight up to him and just goes boom, hits him in the face and just knocks him straight out of nowhere, after I just told these girls no violence ever happens in this town. And the shame for them is they actually seen the same sort of thing the next night as well. So they left Nelson, which is the town that was in New Zealand, with a rather unusual picture of a place that's usually rather beautiful. Another time would be this, there's the Russian guy. There was this one night we had a fishing boat full of Russian fishermen coming into the port Nelson in New Zealand. They came into the bar with an interpreter, a lady that was supposed to help them, who was fluent in Russian but lived in the town. And they come up to the bar, and somehow he's asking for a whole glass of vodka. And I was like, no, I cannot give you a glass of vodka, that's ridiculous. And he's yelling in Russian and starts putting American money down on the table, which is a no-go in New Zealand. Like, you don't pay with American money, you pay with New Zealand dollars. But the lady that was with him, like, she pulls out and starts paying with New Zealand money and says like, it's fine, he can handle it, he's Russian. And I thought he was going to just slowly sip his vodka. No, axe, just all in one go, straight down. Like 15 minutes, or about 15 minutes later, I noticed him off the side of the table, swaying a little bit, moving back and forwards, and annoying some girls. I went to the girls, I was like, everything okay? Everything okay? And they're like, no. So I went over to the guy, asked him to leave. He turns around to swing at me, misses everyone, spins around and falls on a drum kit for the band. And I was like, okay, this guy's fallen over. So I picked him up to get him outside, lifted him up. He's still aggressive, and I was trying to move him outside because I would get a $10,000 fine in New Zealand for having someone drunk in the bar. So I lifted him up to move him outside. As he goes outside, he trips over himself, falls over, and his head just misses the outside sign for the bar and knocks himself out on the ground, just lying there. Then his friend, who was also Russian, comes outside, picks him up and starts fighting with him before I can separate them to put them in a taxi. So sometimes in the bar, if you're working long enough, you will see violence, you will see creepy people trying to manipulate girls in a particular way, trying to get them drunk, usually like an old guy trying to get a young girl drunk or something. And you have to just be careful, you need to be aware. At night time you see the craziest stuff happen.